Hello, and welcome to Zerift's first impressions of Ghosts of Dathomir. How am I going to put this? I've been looking forward to this adventure all year because originally it was set out to come out during January 1st or something like that, but due to Star Wars Celebration of the new movie, they released it recently this month. And boy, do I have some problems with it. Nothing with the overall story. The adventures seems alright. I have to run it to see how well it works. But I think the thing that gets me the most is that these stories are told in 3 acts and they're called episodes. And at the end of every episode, you get a reward. At the end of it, you hand out rewards. And this is where I have my beef with it. The only thing they reward is XP. No credits, no items, just XP, which is different from, say, the end of the third episode of the other adventure, Chronicles of the Gatekeeper, which you actually get an item. Though granted, you could argue they give you a new force power and there's maybe a possibility of a new vehicle, but you have to do certain tasks to get it. So it feels more like a kind of a video game in that sense. Like a special item, you have to do certain things to get it. And, role-playing games aren't video games, so. But I feel like that I can see why they did this. Because I wanted, maybe I can see why. Because they could try to make the argument that, you're Jedi, you're supposed to be good moral code, but that's, just doing something for the sake of good doesn't really cut it in role-playing games. I mean, it's a risk and reward factor. The more risk, the greater the reward. But why would you take a great risk for such a little reward? Do you see where I'm coming from? And that's my main beef with it. There are a few other things essentially the item, and basically, I should go there, but I just had to get this off my chest. Why is there not more reward when you're taking such a great risk? Like, how am I supposed to talk my players into playing this if there's great risk and little reward to playing it? I don't know. But, the adventure itself is alright. I mean, if that's one thing it has more of an advantage over the Chronicles of the Gatekeeper is that Chronicles of the Gatekeeper was a very simplistic story. This one's a little slightly more advanced. You basically just hunt for an item that has ties to the Force, the statue, while being hunted down by a mercenary. So, which is this mercenary right here. So I thought the story was alright. I thought the climax was a little redundant, but in the third act, but that's just me. Because I don't want to give away spoilers, so I'm not gonna say what it is, but I don't know. I felt like they could have done better on this. Overall, I would recommend this as playing because you don't want to do this with beginner players because you requires you to spend credits to bribe people and stuff. And so I would say if you have a party and you want to take a break from the main homebrew of the story you're doing, sure, throw this one in and then continue afterwards. But as a solo adventure itself, I don't know. Because, like I said, like there's so much risk and so little reward. Now, you could make the argument, like I said earlier, that you get a force power, but it's a dark side force power. And what if your players don't want to go dark? Then you got your hands are tied on that one. So it's, yeah, if I were to say something to the guys at Fantasy Flight Games, I would say make sure when you do a new adventure, add more reward, so the players will be willing to make greater risks. Other than that, just keep up coming out with the stories. This is Zerift signing off.